Okay, it's time to add the sidewalks to our town here. What I'd like you to do for sidewalks, to start out, you're going to find the center line of the center building, and if you put a straight edge up against it, okay, so you're all lined up with that, you're going to go to the very bottom point of that building, and keeping your straight edge lined up with that center line. From that point, you're going to jump down maybe an inch or so. You're not connecting from that point downward. You're simply skipping a space and making a small mark. Oh my gosh, it shouldn't be so hard to open a marker. Okay, so I'm going to follow this line down. And I'm just going to make sure it's straight. And make sure I make just a little teeny mark. So if I remove the ruler, you can see it now. It lines up with the center line, okay? Skipping a space, I make a little point, and that point is directly underneath that line. Do not draw a line down from the corner. Skip a space to make the point. I hope I'm making my points. Okay, now you're going to take that point and you're going to connect it towards the left vanishing point. Precisely, line it up. Don't let that straight edge move. And please do the same with the vanishing point on the right side. This is going to be the sidewalk. Okay. Now a sidewalk is split into sidewalk blocks. And we want to do that here to give the impression that it's an actual sidewalk and just not large areas of concrete. So the sidewalk, where it's split into blocks, is done using your vanishing points. The first two lines I want you to do will be an extension of the bottom of the line, or the bottom of the building, the line that runs along the bottom of the building. You're going to continue that line straight across to hit the new line I just have drawn. So I'm going to line this back up, and I am going to carry that line right over. So it's an extension of the line I already have coming down. You'll do the same thing on the other side. That line that runs along the bottom of the building, you're going to now extend it further over, but use a straight edge. Make sure it's lined up with the vanishing point. Okey-doke, and you're just going to carry that right over. This is the first block in your city. Now on the left side, sidewalk, all of the lines that you put in there to break it down into sidewalk blocks, all of these lines that you put in are going to line up with the right side vanishing point. And on the right side, all of the lines that you put in here to divide the sidewalk will line up with the left side vanishing point. Okay, so it depends on which side of the sidewalk you're on. Now you're going to have to guesstimate how big you want your sidewalks to be. If I skip too much space, I'm going to end up with a long rectangle. It won't look like a sidewalk box. So what I tend to like to do is just make some little marks where I believe my sidewalk would be. Okay, and the further back you go, the closer these little lines will get, because as you go further away, things would be drawn smaller. So let me just go ahead and do a little bit on this side. So I am definitely lined up with the point. These lines on the left are going to the right point. I'm really hoping this makes sense. Again, I do want to mention, as I'm watching and looking at your submissions when you're showing me your work, there are some people that are still having a real tricky time with those stinky vertical lines, trying to get them straight up and down, parallel with one another and parallel with the edges of the paper. But if your lines are not truly vertical, not truly straight up and down, your buildings are going to look like, there was a recent earthquake or something, and they're going to look like they're starting to fall over. And that's concerning. I wouldn't want to work in one of those buildings. Okay, whoops. My ruler likes to slide around here, like that. Now, in this side of town, and I would keep going all the way back. On this side of town, again, the sidewalk lines are going to go towards the left point, if I'm on the right side of the building. What's nice about having the videos here is if you don't quite understand something, you can always watch it again or rewind it. And hopefully the second time around might make a little more sense. I try to make sense. I hope I make sense. Okay, so that these are coming on this way. And I would continue on this side all the way back, going every single line I draw. Don't get lazy. Every single line you draw should go to the opposite side vanishing point. Okay, once both sides are done, the next thing you're going to do is come back down to this diamond here in the center. Find the very bottom point of that diamond. Again, line up your line in the center of town in your center building. And at the very, very bottom of that diamond, you're going to draw a very small vertical line. Very small. What does a vertical line do to an object? It gives it height. So what we're going to do here is give the sidewalk a little bit of height so it's not on the road, so that when cars come up, they don't accidentally drive onto the sidewalk and hit somebody, hurt somebody. So a little bit of height here. At the very bottom of this vertical line, you're going to connect it towards the left point and towards the right point. You're going to have a very small space here, and you will see what I'm talking about. Remember, your sharpened pencil is going to be way more precise and way more accurate than my dry erase marker. Okay. So you see that little space? Same thing on the other side. Woo. It's kind of, this board's a little bit slippery. It's challenging me. Oh shoot, that didn't show up. Hang on. Dang it. Oh, that looks horrid. Okay, the last thing you're going to do to really make this look really super cool, wherever you have a line that comes over across the top of the sidewalk, okay, where it comes over and you see that little teeny area, you are going to bring a vertical, straight up and down, a vertical line down from that point. Oops. So see what I did here? These tiny little lines. That helped to establish the height because they're all little vertical lines. And vertical lines are tricky to draw when you're drawing in perspective. So make sure they're not angled. They're not diagonal. They are straight up and down. And you do the same thing on the other side. But I would have the sidewalk go all the way back, doing all these steps with it. Okay, and then I'll just show you a quick picture of the sidewalk all done so you can see what it looks like, but I don't think you really want to sit and watch me do this for the whole video. Hopefully I've shown you enough so that it makes sense. Okay, so good luck with that. And then the next thing we're going to do is the street.